Muhlenberg's lucky because when our next inductee was in school, we didn't play the Mules. We didn't play them again until 1981. And you'll see why after watching the video on Craig Swanson.
Very sharp, intelligent young man, and he worked his tail off, and whatever you gave him to do, he was going to do it. And
arriving in Gettysburg from New Providence, New Jersey, Craig Swanson certainly wasn't the biggest guy on the football team. He stood 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in at 190 pounds during a time when Gettysburg was still lining up against Division I competition. Swanson's physical stature proved to be no hurdle when it came to his play on the field, however, and after 2 years playing primarily on special teams and in a reserve role, he earned a starting spot on the defensive line.
You know, he just earned it. He just earned it. He just flat out beat everybody out. I'm glad we made that decision, I can tell you that, because he made a lot of plays. You know, you can't always measure somebody by how tall they are or you know, how much they weigh. You measure them by their performance. And, you know, he sure did have a lot of great performances for us.
Swanson took a lead role for Gettysburg defense in his final 2 campaigns. He was the only Bullet to land a spot on the All-Middle Atlantic Conference team in 1978 after piling up a school record 9 quarterback sacks. As a senior in 1979, Swanson turned in a spectacular final year. He piled up 35 tackles in the first 2 games of the season, and he recorded 3 sacks in 3 separate games. No performance was more outstanding than his play against Bucknell, when he posted 9 tackles, 3 sacks, a blocked punt, and a forced fumble as the Bullets downed the Bison 14-7 in the last ever meeting on the football field between the 2 schools.
Again, he was tenacious, so I mean, he'd go after everything 100%. You never had a question about what he was going to do as far as the work that he was going to put in for it. And he played 2 sports. He was also a track guy, so I had him in track for a couple of years before I became the head football coach and then gave up the track responsibilities. But and he was a pole vaulter, if you can figure that out. But that was his mentality, you know, get after it and go. But again, in both sports, he worked really hard.
Swanson once again broke the single-season sack record with 13 hits on the quarterback in 1979. Not only did he earn all-conference honors once again, but he was named to the NCAA Division III All-America First Team. He was equally successful off the field, joining fellow co-captain Richard Swartz as the first football academic All-Americans in school history. Swanson closed his career with nearly 200 tackles and a school record 23 sacks. After graduating from Gettysburg with a degree in physics, Swanson embarked on a career as a software systems engineer. He has spent the last 20 years working for Software Applications International company.
Craig Swanson deserves to be in the Hall of Honor because of all the things we've talked about earlier. He was an All-American in the classroom. He was an All-American on the field, and his statistics showed it. And he made play after play, which contributed to you know, a lot of wins. And you know, I don't think that anybody could argue that about his deserving of this honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 1980, Craig Swanson.
For the 4th time tonight, you're going to hear, wow. It's amazing. And being last is it's something like this is really hard because everything that I had thought I was going to say has been said at least one time. So I apologize for the repetition, and I'll try and be a little bit creative or helpful. That's my grandson, by the way. Yeah, it's, so I guess, I need to say thank you to the Orange and Blue Club. And the selection is just amazing. And when you look around this room and you just see the quality of the people, the quality of the athletes, the quality of the character that's here, to be considered even worthy of being in this group is amazing. And when you think about the number of athletes that have come through Gettysburg College over the years and the quality, the consistent quality of the sports that you find here, to be considered even, again, just worthy of consideration, much less selection, is really there. So thank you so very much. I do want to, before I go any further, just say thank you to my family. excuse me, for coming tonight. My wife, Pat, my daughter, Kara, my daughter, Christy, her husband, Kel, my grandson, Robert, my son, Kevin, and my sister, Carlin, and her son, Ryan. Ryan is a freshman here, and he is playing for Coach Streeter, who I played for 35 years ago. And I truly had nothing to do with him making this choice, other than the fact that he's able to see what I saw, which is this is really a great place to go to school and a great place to play ball. Tonight, I got to see friends that I haven't seen in years and just realize they're here. And I'm going to get, names that I forgot. Coach Streeter, I'm going to start with you, and I'm going to come back there. Kirby Scott, back on the team. Lefty Beiser, Joe Dinoli, Ed Riggs, not a football player, but track, and it's all in there. Stingray, God bless you, man. When I think about the people that showed me the way, Stingray was one of them. Jim Sperry, his nickname was Zombie. I didn't even know his real name for a year. It's true. I thought Zombie was starting. They got this guy Jim Sperry out there. I don't know what's going on. And I'm gonna forget people, but you just look and you say Rick Swartz, the class, the quality of the people that are out there, and so and oh, by the way, thank you guys, the other award winners. Congratulations to you all, and really for saying everything I was going to say. So you just remember that part of it, but the key thing is it's all consistent, right? And it all comes back to character. It all comes back to hard work. It all comes back to doing the right thing. And I did have the chance to hear Coach Streeter introduce himself to the freshman class, the freshman football class this year when my nephew was there. And I felt like I was back 35 years. It was the same thing, and I just wanted to stand up and say, yes, that's true, because those are the values that he puts out there, and they teach you to be good people. And the success that comes from after this is more important than the success that's here. And that's really what happens at this place. And so to you seniors, remember that and pass that on to the players below you. And the other thing is Division III sports are different than anything else in the world. There's no money in this. You're playing for you. And it's tough and it's hard and there's distractions. Yet at the end of the day, when it's over, you'll never have a time that you look back on more that you won't regret having done it. And just remember, it's only 4 years, and that's all you get. So enjoy all of it. Thank you guys very much.